Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of TheGamersRemorse and Friends Play Dungeons & Dragons Hoard the Dragon Queen. Last time, this happened. Click the embedded thing, because I explained it in great detail. So you can watch that there. So, without going back into that, last time where we guys left off, you had just climbed down a plateau. What do you guys want to do now that you have arrived?
Perception check, see if we can see anything. Right? Anyone?
Yeah.
Yep.
Go for it.
Also, just a heads up, Barry and Eric may be joining later, and all of the faces will get messed up. Sorry, YouTube. I'm not going to mess with it, because last time I did, I ruined our recording. So have fun with that. So back to you guys. What did you want to do now that you are down from the plateau?
So I did a perception check, it was 10 when I didn't cheat.
10 when you didn't cheat. Alright.
Yes.
I got a 10 as well.
So you see leaves. Foliage.
I'm looking at the dirt.
Whoa, what happened?
Alright, Eric's going to continue trying to fix a computer.
Cool.
So I'm gonna. I don't know if you heard that, but he loves you. He loves Twidget. I should specify. He loves Twidget, not Sean.
Tell him Twidgy Huggy.
Alright, so coming to your guys' 10 rules on perception. How close do you... So you're just at the base of the plateau. Are you looking in the gap at all, or what are you looking at as you're doing your perceptions? What are you trying to perceive?
I'm trying to look for a camp or smoke or some look of civilization maybe up ahead, although
Okay.
rustic.
Okay. So, if you guys are at the base of the plateau, a road pretty much leads out of the plateau, heading due direction. We'll just say south-ish, because as I look at
Or
my map,
north, since that's the way that it looks on the map.
yeah, well, on the map it looks north, but on the next map, you know what? Roads curve, so we'll just say north. So the road goes north, and in the distance, when you're on top of the plateau, you guys saw a horseshoe-shaped plateau in the distance. You can see the wall of that plateau in the horizon, and you can see smoke still coming from within. Between where you are, it looks like it's mostly open grasslands with small brush and rocks. It is early afternoon. It's about 70 degrees.
Okay.
Balmy.
Balmy wind out of the south.
52% humidity.
Barometric pressure.
Alrighty,
of 1.15.
Seems like the horseshoe.
And it looks like we have a
is
wild
the
berry up
next
here.
landmark.
I used D&D. It was very effective.
Hey, Vendetta.
I've been playing too much Pokemon. Alright, so Philbarian, we are deciding what they want to do as they get down from the plateau.
Burn the bodies.
Just let
Nope.
it happen.
So we did a perception check. We didn't really see much. There's like a
I did a
horseshoe.
perception check. It was a 23.
Yeah, with your 23, you can tell pretty much that between where you are and where they are, there's nothing. There's no scouts, no positions where people would be watching. You can
Awesome.
move fairly unobserved.
Excellent.
Should we send a scout ahead to survey the land and maybe tell us where the camp is?
So we're up on a plateau and we don't see the camp?
No,
Yep.
you just
No.
climbed down the plateau.
Yeah.
Just climbed down the plateau. Okay.
I think we saw the horseshoe before, though.
Yeah, when you were on top of the
Yeah.
plateau, you saw it.
Oh, and we're From that captive before, we were saying that we think that it's inside that horseshoe defended in that area?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we see fire or something on top of the horseshoe thing as well?
Yeah, you had seen smoke coming from within the horseshoe, and then on top of the horseshoe, you saw a wooden building.
Interesting. All right.
About how big is this horseshoe, Brian?
If you had to guess, from the distance, of course, you can't be 100% certain, but it's probably a good 1,000 feet long by maybe 90 feet wide. Or sorry, 900 feet wide.
Roughly squarish.
Okay, well, I'd say we send out scouts ahead and slowly make our way towards the horseshoe and try and see what's going on there.
Yep.
Yep.
I can volunteer as scout.
And I will be on his right flank.
And I will stay back.
Did someone volunteer me?
Yeah.
It's cool. I guess I am stealthy.
Yeah,
I could do
I guess
it.
I'll second that nomination.
So am I. I could easily go as well.
Okay.
But I figured I'd let some of the other people do it.
Yeah. So how quickly do you desire to approach the horseshoed plateau? It's about a mile away.
Full sprint sounds like a good idea.
I'd like to stealth up and then maybe move at a half speed.
So Twidget
I'm
makes his
gonna-
recommendation.
Is that officially a saunter?
Yes.
How about the scouts go ahead, and the people who are not scouting will take their time and move forward as well, but at no particularly fast pace.
We'll fly casual.
Fly catch.
Alright, so as you guys approach, do you want to give me some stealth checks?
I got a stealth check of 18.
I
And
had
perception 16.
I had 19.
And you three are the forward stealth guys, right? The three of you? I'm going to take your silence as a yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Alright, so as you guys are following the road to the north, you guys are fairly certain you don't see much at all. You come up. How close you desire to get to the edge of the horseshoe?
Depends. What do I see as I'm approaching?
Alright, we're back. Sorry, YouTube. Technical difficulties. That's becoming. That should be like the subtitle of this show. Is Gamers Remorse and Technical Difficulties. Alright, so I'm gonna ignore all of your guys' drawings.
No.
He's gonna work in dire beavers now.
That'd be amazing, by the way.
Okay.
Prehistoric beaver that's the size of a bus.
So if you guys look towards the bottom of your maps, you will see this fancy outline that I just drew for you. So at the bottom, that's where the plateau was that you guys scaled. So you've been walking north along this. You've been walking north along this trail here. Eventually, it branches off to the left and it branches off to the right and back down. And the right side there, that's the plateau. The walls are about 80 to 100 feet tall, practically straight up.
Up and over.
So the only one that could climb it would be a wolf spider. If only we had one.
Or
Tie a rope to it.
the expendable rogue.
Halfling toss. So I'm kind of thinking it would
How
be
much
cool.
could the wolf spider carry? Could he carry Twidget?
He could carry a rope.
I'm carrying a rope, if anything. I'm not carrying Twitch. He's fat and has lots of beard.
What if he has a cowboy hat?
Nope, he is not a spider wrangler.
What if he
Have-
sings Yippee-ki-yay while doing it?
Does he have land vehicle proficiency?
All right.
Specialization druid.
So how do you guys choose to approach the three of you who are kind of leading the scouting party? How do you choose to approach?
So I kind of go and point in this direction, start to head this way, as if to go around the horseshoe and approach from a non-obvious way.
Okay.
I'm going to head back to the party, actually kind of saying what we've seen up front.
I hesitate and then follow.
Is there anywhere over here that the rest of us can go so that we can kind of see if somebody else is kind of coming from that direction? Draw.
It's a fairly open plains at this point.
So there's probably nowhere to hide over here that I could actually get a vantage point.
Yeah, there wouldn't be anywhere that you could like hide specifically, but
Okay.
you could always just act like a random passerby, or a merchant, or a lost tiefling.
Yes.
Now, Keithan, you were talking something about using our halfling's disguise abilities?
Correct, using somebody's disguise ability to,
Like an alter self at will?
well, more like me, alter me in some way or form.
You can't do that.
If you have a disguise skill, possibly, if we can find stuff. But basically try and make it so that I'm not as...
Do we have any robes that fit you?
I would hope so.
I thought we decided to go against the robes. We'd be
Basically,
better
it's
off-
more of my face that I'm concerned with.
Not all of us in
I'm still up for that one person wear robes while the rest of us pretend to be their lackeys kind of thing. Because we knew he was saying that the all wearing robes thing was sketchy.
Yeah. Hey, Brian.
Yep.
The dragon cultist or anybody mounted on horseback? What?
Well, it is funny you say that, because are you guys still in this area?
Yes.
Alright, so as you guys are talking, all of a sudden you just see 3 horsemen go riding out of the mouth of the... Well, I guess you don't know if it's from the mouth, you just see them after they come around the side, but riding north into the short grassland, the prairie area,
So
away
that way?
from you.
Away from Big T?
Yep,
Here?
they're kind of heading up to the north.
Oh, okay.
Armored or looking more like couriers?
Sorry, what was that?
Are they armored or do they look more like couriers or scouts?
They're lightly armored. You can see they have bows strapped to their backs and light armor. Clearly they want to be dexterous, but they don't look like they're going to go fight a war anytime soon. And
Did
there's
we
just
determine
3 of
this was
them.
saying up
I
this
don't know
way
what
or
that
following the road?
They were going off the road to the north.
Off the road, so this...
Oh. So you're
This
throwing me
way,
off
yeah.
again. So north is to the left?
North is straight up.
So north is straight up, so they're going there. Ping.
Could you draw an arrow where they are and where they're going?
And so they came like that.
Interesting.
Along the mountain range.
So we probably can't catch up to them, right?
Unless you can run faster than a horse.
Everyone on top of the wolf spider.
Please,
And
just
we
become a horse.
successfully kill the wolf spider while not getting any closer ourselves.
Here's what we could do. Let's assume that they're coming back the same way, and then let's head
Hide.
the casual
ambush?
folks. Let's go over this way and just see if we can just kind of wait them out and see if they come back that way.
Wait, you want to go to the mouth of the thing and then turn around and look at the grasslands?
Yeah, I'm just curious if they're going to come back from that way. If they're going out and then coming back.
I'm going to go my own way then. I'm gonna go around the non-obvious way.
Screwdriver.
Scalpel.
If the ranger's not going with the halfling, I will follow Twidget.
Okay. So how far do you want to go, Twidget, before you stop moving?
Well, how close is Aranor? Like-
We're very close ever since our backstory.
Shh! I told you not to talk about that here.
Oh,
All right, so I
Is there a
got.
dream
I
sequence
come up to
involved?
about here. I do a perception check. I move 5 feet, 10 feet more. Do another
Yeah.
perception check.
Gi-
Like I'm
give me
constantly
give me a perception check, and we're going to run that as your. We're just going to run with.
constant. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see my perception. I always forget it.
It's like a
That's a 25 for me, Brian, taking
Yep.
into account my guidance from before.
Yep.
I was just being annoying for the rest of them.
Yeah. So Twidget is pretty much just going to follow Aranor's lead as far as perception goes. So as you guys are walking around the cliff face, you
So
see.
we're still stealthed up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that matters. Okay.
So as you're walking around the cliff face, you can tell it's fairly straight, minor waves in the rock pattern. But then there are a few very small, shallow caves, about half
Oh.
and 3/4 of the way up.
facing to the south.
Just on all sides that you can see so far. There's about maybe one every quite a ways. And it's
Sorry,
not
I'm not there, so I should shut up.
So when you say shallow, do you mean we can actually see the back of them? Or shallow from a standpoint of they're short?
shallow as in the lower ones where you have a better vantage point, you can see the back of them. The taller ones, the ones that are really high up, you can't see the back because of your angle.
Okay.
But you can see
At the first tall one, I'm going to recommend we go back and grab the ranger. He's got better eyes for this type of thing.
Okay. So where's the ranger at? Are they all the way up at the T? Or
As far as I was aware, I hadn't
We
moved
haven't had
yet.
one.
okay, so you're down.
I was back here with these guys.
All right, so we grab the ranger and tell him about the caves up high.
Okay. So I agree to go with them.
And we'll
Which
kind
one's
of
the
point
one
out a
up
few of
high?
the taller
Yep.
caves.
So the red circles are the taller caves.
Okay.
Hey, Wood Elf boy. Sharp ears, knife ears. Go take a look at that cave.
Okay. How am I supposed to get there? What do you mean by look at it? It's like,
I
how
can't
high
see
up
the
is this
back.
cave?
I can't see the back of it, can you? With your keen eyes?
So if I'm using dark vision in my perception, I'll give you a perception roll.
And just so you guys know, last week it was about 2-ish when you reached the plateau, and after all the planning and strategizing, it's about 3:30 right now. So the sun is, this part of the sky, just casting shadows on this side.
Brian, do I hear anything from the caves?
No.
Okay.
Everything's fairly silent. You can hear some chittering and chattering inside of the plateau where the camp is.
Okay, but not necessarily coming from the cave.
Nope.
Okay.
It sounds quite far off, clearly moving up and over the plateau. It's a very faint sound.
I lean over to my companions, Aranor and Galaneus, and say, "Should we approach?" I whisper it quietly.
How high up did you say these caves were in the...
The short ones are about 30 feet, and the tall ones are about 60 feet.
Okay.
Whoa. But how, a halfling could fit in it, could a wood elf, could
Yeah.
a, you know what I mean?
I mean,
Okay.
just your guess, it's probably, about a 10 by 10 foot Not quite square, but
Okay.
weathered.
Okay, good sized.
Maybe about 10 feet deep. At least the ones you can see the back of.
Right. So this red one in front of us right here is about 60 feet up the canyon face.
Yep. And because of the angle, you can't see as far back into it, but you'd guess
Right.
it's the same.
So should we keep going?
Yeah, if we can't see the back of this cave, I'm not really feeling like dungeon delving just by our lonesomes.
Yeah, and I don't even know how we'd get there.
At this point, you guys are the majority of the party.
Yeah, it's true. Let's continue around the horseshoe, taking note of the caves.
Mhm.
Yep.
Kind of peering into each one as we can.
Okay. God, I can't. Anyway, I'm the circle now, and apparently the text. I lost my legs somehow. God, I can't even grab my head anymore. Okay, I am just the text now. All right.
Where
So
are
we're going
I?
around here. We're going around here stealthy and perceiving as we go.
Mhm.
Here's a shorter one, guys.
Once you get to about where you are now, you can see the riders are still going off into the distance fairly quickly.
Okay. Hey guys, I gotta warn you. I've heard of these parts before. There's a beaver up here. It's angry. Beware.
We'll try not to anchor him further.
Yep. We keep coming up here. Keep coming up here. Should we pause here and do? Is there anything here, Brian, that would be of note? Anything at the right face of the canyon?
As you get there, there's not really anything of notice. You can tell as you're coming around the plateau. Let me get a different color here. When you were on top of the plateau, you had seen the wooden tower.
Mm-hmm.
It is at about this part of the inside of the plateau. It's on the top of the plateau, but further in. And then as you get to about where the edge of the area is, actually no, you won't be able to see that until you come around. Never mind.
Do we see any other people though, or anything happening in this?
No, I mean
region?
as you get to the mouth, you hear chatter, more chatter. It's getting louder as you're getting closer to the entrance.
Can we make out any of the words, or is it just general
It's just
crowd
general
noise?
crowd noise. Yep.
Okay. I look to my companions and say, should we go further or report back?
Report back. I'd like to take a look at that short cave that's opposite of the tower on the way back.
So stop here, or do you mean after reporting back, stop here?
Oh, arrow.
No, stop there first.
So when you guys get to about this point, Aranor at least stops and starts looking at the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Just hide in the shadow of the beaver.
Yeah, and again, you're looking at the short one, right? The short cave?
Yeah.
Yep, so it's about 30 feet off the ground. It looks to be approximately 10 by 10 square-ish. Again, it's a weathered cave. It's not a perfectly carved thing. It's clearly eroded over time. And it looks to be about 10 feet deep.
Okay.
You can see the back of this one.
Yeah, okay. Unless we want to send somebody up to climb and verify it, I just wanted to see if one of these might actually go through. But we should probably report back first.
Yeah. Let's just
Yep.
report back.
So after they've been gone for an hour and a half to 2 hours, I just start walking up.
So when they start to come back, where would you be?
Well, depending on how much time it takes, I will leave that X at about 2 hours.
Okay.
Because you said it was an afternoon
Yep.
when they sort of started out. I would like to get there around right at sundown at the for sure.
Okay.
Wait up! Wait up!
Because some of us can't see in the dark.
I can see the dark, but I'm going to go that way regardless.
Yeah.
So we catch up to Keith in about here then.
Okay.
We inform him of what we saw, along with waving on the rest of the party. So we're all sitting about here.
So as
What do we want to do?
so as you guys inform them of what you've seen, how do you guys choose to proceed?
So there's a watchtower.
Okay, so I asked him about the watchtower. Is it high enough that actually it can see out to the east of this?
Wasn't
saw
my
it from the-
impression.
out there.
It's on the inside.
I mean, you guys could see the top of the watchtower as you were coming around it. That's about a 20-foot tall wooden structure. But it's clearly overlooking the inside, but of course anyone in the top of the tower could look 360 degrees.
But they would not be able to see directly
True, they
on
could,
the other side of the
yeah,
plateau.
like they couldn't look straight down and see the where the plateau meets the ground.
Yeah. That's how we were able to escape notice.
That you know of.
No.
Okay, so there's a lot of drawings right now. Where are we? We're on the blue path.
Yeah, can we get rid of these extraneous drawings?
I did
That's a
not
big
draw
key.
them, so I have no control over them.
That's a
You're the
DM, right?
DM, yes you do.
I'm trying. Oh, different layer. That's why.
The beaver.
Alright, thank you.
So you guys had met up at about here.
Yep.
And we're pushing probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
What time does sun
The
set?
sun will probably set around 7.
I keep going then. I get their report and tell them, like, okay, let's keep going.
I like
So,
it.
All these humans, I mean, do they have anything in common with how they're dressed?
Are you regarding to like the people who left on horseback, or the ones you had fought in town?
The one we fought down and the other group that we'd fought before we got to the plateau that's over
Yeah.
down here.
The ones you had fought in town, some of them were wearing red robes.
Red robes, not purple.
Yep, there was one in purple robes, but that was the leader that Nightingale pointed out.
Okay.
And then the ones you found at the encampment, they had taken off their robes and they were just wearing standard leather armor.
So some of those were robe wearers, but they just were wearing leather armor at the time.
Yep.
I'd say one person in purple robes and the rest of us in just standard.
I think there's I don't know. Knowing how many people attacked, there's a lot of people, and I think we're better off trying to impersonate somebody else and be part of the crowd.
Yeah, I think our best bet's just walking straight in and try and get in with the confusion. Our one captive said that it was a pretty lax kind of security for the first day or two, so we really should try and fit in at that point.
So,
instead of
since
waiting.
everybody's been human so far, I think our elf ranger should probably cover his ears and put a little dirt on his face, make him look a little bit like he's got some stubble, even though he probably doesn't. And our halfling should look tall as he can, and the tiefling will alter himself to look like.
Yep.
So, I think that's the most precautions we need right now.
Okay. So are you guys just going to head into the camp?
Yep. I'm going to mainly stick to the shadows and just try and stay out of sight. Very stealthy.
Okay. At this point, I'm going to move you to a fancy new map. This will be the best map you guys have seen yet.
Oh,
It's
snap.
blank.
Debatable. Oh.
Ooh.
It didn't load right away, so. It's
Okay. You do not have units on this map, and you'll notice your ruler is ridiculous because each square is 21.5 feet.
Gigawatts.
Yes, it is. Gigawatt.
So
Wow.
as you enter the camp area, let me switch to my reveal. Alright, so as you kind of enter the area, there's a small tower at the front. It's about a 20-foot tower, and it's about 30 by 30 feet wide, about 20 feet tall. And there are some kobolds kind of walking around in front of it. And then in this little tent formation here, you see some kobolds, as well as a few kobolds over in this area.
My gut instinct is to hide.
My gut instinct is to tell Twitch to put the cobalt jerky away.
I dropped the kobold jerky out of my hand that I've been chewing on subtly.
Have they seen this yet?
We should walk as confidently as we can.
Act casual, walk confident.
Alright, everybody give me a charisma check.
Oh crap!
I got this.
Any particular, like just a straight charisma?
Just straight charisma.
So not a charisma saving throw, right?
No.
I have
Actually-
+0 on charisma.
Actually, it may be a saving throw. Let me...
Just wondering because there's.
Boom! 22!
Oh yeah, 5.
Crap.
Okay,
I
yeah,
got
it's a
5.
charisma check, so it's not a saving throw.
Okay.
Alright, so Galaneus got a 5, Aranor got a 15, Keithan got
I'm a little
5.
too nervous.
Oh.
Twidget got a 22.
So, alright.
Nice.
I am not the adventure you are looking for.
Alright, so as you guys enter the camp, walking confidently, as you
Ooh.
With
Come
me
to-
shaking in my boots.
as you come to about this point between the tower and the tents, a kobold comes towards you. Who comes here? Who are you? He kind of grunts as he approaches.
So, there's only 2 of us and not Gil since, like, it's in Draconic, right?
yeah. Well, no, he'd be speaking common because he's
Oh,
addressing
if he's-
humans.
If he's speaking common, then I just interrupt before any of my companions can say it. I don't like threaten him, but I kind of give him the slightly belligerent attitude of, "Get out of our way. We're heading back to the camp."
He kind of looks aghast and just walks towards the tower, angrily. Do you proceed? Which
Yeah.
way?
Yeah.
I walk in like I own the place.
Okay.
I follow.
Okay, my Twitch owns the place.
Can I help if I... Boom.
Do we do any other perceptions? Do we see anything of import?
Yeah, well, as you kind of come through, I need to pull back up my... Here we go, so I can see what's on screen. So kind of, as you guys can see, there's kind of this little road marked here. As you guys follow the road, you kind of get to about this position here. And to the tents directly to the south of you, there are some humans that kind of are just sitting around a fire cooking meat. And one of them just kind of waves you over. It's just like, hey guys, come join our fire. Join food and drink. Join us. You can tell he's moderately drunk at this point.
Hello.
This is Europe. This is
Do we
your
join them?
Yep, I'm joining them.
I just start
Alright.
walking that direction.
Yep,
Alright.
we join them.
My goal is to not arise suspicion.
Alright, so as you guys kind of get around to the fire, the drunk guy, he kind of looks at you guys curiously before pulling out, there's kind of a wood keg behind him, and he just grabs a mug and fills one up and starts handing mugs out to you guys. And he's like, I don't know what this drink is, but the townsfolk had it, and it's amazing. It's like a sweet wine with honey notes. I don't know, guys. Enjoy it.
As long as it's better than piss, it's good for me.
Hey, Brian.
Yep.
He's refined that way.
I'm going to take a sip of it. How strong does it appear to be?
I mean, if you were to guess, the gravity, you'd probably say it's about a 6.75 alcohol by volume.
So, I'm not actually a drinker, so I don't know what that means, Brian.
Neither do I.
It's
Okay.
like
Basically, what I'm trying to figure out, Brian, is whether after I sip it, if I can quaff it and not, die.
It's like a light cider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like average brew strength, I would say. Craft brew strength.
Okay.
More
I'll
than
quaff
Bud
half
Light,
of it
but
after.
I
less.
totally just made those numbers up, by the way. We're gonna say it's a light. It's not super strong.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll quaff half of it after my first.
Slightly more than a Bud Light.
then ask for a refill.
I refuse the drink and say, I brought my own. And I bring out my own beer.
Yeah, he kind of nods and smiles. He's like, I like a man who carries his own tankards. Where were you guys? How was the raiding for you? Did you bring back much treasure?
Oh, of course. Since nobody else is going to talk. Yeah, we brought in heaping arms full. How about you?
I mean, we got our fair share, me and my mates here. And there's about 4 other guys sitting around the fire with you, all kind of grinning. He's like, you weren't supposed to keep anything. It's all for the dragon queen lady, Tiamat. And as he speaks, one of the people around the camp reaches his hand out and just goes, praise the queen! And everyone just kind of looks at him and kind of laughs. But he's like, we kept some of the fineries in liquid form for ourselves, of course.
Of course.
I tell him, I was like, of course, and then I pull out a small flask out of my pocket as well and place it back.
Okay. And one of the guys sitting around, he kind of like pulls a small dagger out of a sheath, and he just kind of looks at it and goes, "Gutted a few of the guards myself. It was a fun fight, I must say. Much better than the small villages we'd been raiding before."
Ah, so you had some fights then while you were in town. Do tell.
Yeah, well, there was a temple that we were kind of going around. There were some people inside that we tried to get them out, but they were stuck there too well. But there were a few people who came and tried to help them, and we cut them down. Me and a few guys were just running around it, scaring people and attacking whoever came too close. It's good fun, good fun.
Mm.
How about yourselves? How many did you kill?
Well, I don't like to slash and brag, but we killed our fair share.
We were at the keep, taking them down one by one.
As you're talking, another human who's been walking down the road kind of veers off, starts walking towards you guys, waving at the people at the fire. And he goes, "Oh, it's good to see you 4 made it back. I thought our poker would have to be delayed. I'm glad it will not be." And one of the other guys just kind of looks up and goes, "Come sundown, we will be ready. And you will owe me more gold than you thought you had, friend." And they all kind of chuckle, and he takes a mug.
At that point, Brian, I want to get up and just kind of walk around the camp and see what else is going. Not the whole camp, but just this human portion of the
this
camp.
small area? Okay, do you want to give me a perception check?
No, can't you just assume I rolled a 20?
Just roll an errand roll.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so starting off, I'm going to kind of mumble to myself.
You can do this.
So 24.
Alright, yeah. So this area, you can tell these are not super nice tents. It's essentially, it looks like they found some trees, cut little poles, and wrapped canvas around them. About, a 20-foot diameter circles probably fit 4 people per tent. There's a lot of small fires like the one you guys are gathered at. People cooking some form of meat, drinking whatever they can get their hands on, telling stories of the battle. As you're walking around perceiving, the guy who had just joined from the road kind of tilts his head sideways at Galileus. He's like, "You look familiar from somewhere." Were you at the forward embarkment?
I spent a little bit of time there, but not a lot.
Were you working with Moondath by chance?
I don't believe so.
He just kind of tilts his head away and nods, clearly thinking something. The conversation just continues. People telling stories about where they were, who they fought, what they took. Clearly, the people here are just kind of enjoying the evening.
As the guy tells the jokes, I laugh a little bit harder than I probably should, and I lean over and say, "Have you tried their local delicacy, the raw roast pig?" And I offer him some kobold jerky that he's clearly not aware of what it is.
He reaches out and he grabs the kobold jerky and kind of like smells it and is like, I've always enjoyed my pig cooked. I've never tried it this way, but a delicacy is a delicacy. Am I right? And he takes a big bite out of it.
It is indeed, sir.
And
you look right now. He's like, okay, Constitution check.
watch the YouTube vid that may or may not have just happened. He just kind of like swallows it down, follows it with a swig, and he goes, "Not sure why they like it, but hey, meat is meat, right?"
They're a strange folk here, sir.
One of the guys, the guy who had previously reached his hand out when they mentioned Tiamat, he kind of looks at you guys and he just says, "So what is what role do you play here? Are you mercenaries? Are you part of the cult? Praise Tiamat. What brings you to the camp? I do not recognize you."
I tell him I tell him I'm a mercenary, but I was interested in joining the cult, and what did he said? Praise Tiamat. Did he do like some sort of like?
Yeah, he reached his hand out.
Yeah, I try to mimic that.
Okay. He smiles and he reaches in his back pocket and pulls out a pamphlet.
Pamphlet, yes.
And he hands it to you.
Like a hug and be like, "Hail Hydra."
He tries to sell you a timeshare as well.
And he's like,
I pull him aside and be like, "I burned the bodies."
And he's just like, "Well done. The dragons love burning things."
So I'll ask him. It's like, so did you guys bring back any prisoners?
The guy who had waved you over in the first place, he's quite obviously the most talkative of this group, and he just nods and he goes, "Yes, we received, I believe, 5 prisoners from this raid. Not our best raid, but not our worst by any means. They should be locked up over in the prisoner quarters, whatever they call that. We don't go there. It's too depressing. A few of the Dragon's Guard, as they call themselves, stand over them, make them work during the day."
Like they should, being slaves.
No.
I ask him if we can see them. I'm interested. I tell him I'm a bit of a sadist.
The guy who was talking to you about the cult kind of laughs and he goes, "Oh, that's not frowned upon in the least here. If you would like, I could take you to where they are locked up at night. Spit on them if you desire. Whatever you please."
I just follow his gaze and I just like, I don't really want him to show me. I just want to go find it myself, type of thing.
Mm-hmm. And he's
assuming he's kind of pointing in the right directions.
Yeah, he's kind of pointing over and to if up is north, he's pointing off to the east.
To the east, okay. What's this dotted line? I think you said before, but I wasn't sure.
That is so I can remember what is where.
Okay.
That's fun little GM news information.
Is that like elevation or anything though, or that doesn't mean anything to
nope,
us?
Nope, it doesn't mean anything elevation wise.
Welcome to the danger zone.
Is it like a electric fence that's gonna zap us?
Pretty much. You cross that line, you die.
It's an invisible fence for dogs.
Yep.
So what is to the north? Is that another kobold encampment?
Yeah, the one up
I
here.
think that's what he said. Yeah.
Yep, that was another
Okay.
kobold encampment. So these two were kobolds.
Not poking around.
I'm just gonna mark them that way.
Yep.
And you said this tower had kobolds, right?
Yeah, this tower had some kobolds in it.
Okay. But then the people down here were human.
And one of the guys at the fire, he kind of stands up and stretches, and he's like, "Well, I have to go see one of the men from one of the other encampments. We made a bet on who would get the most kills, and I think he owes me some gold." And he just kind of walks off over this way.
All right. I
Is
want
there
to make
anyone?
an insight check on that.
All right, give me an insight.
Of course, I'm not very good at insight, so see what happens.
That's pretty good.
I haven't rolled anything.
That was Aranor.
Aranar did pretty good. That's pretty good too.
I'm glad you can see it. It's still rolling for me.
Yeah,
Hey, all right.
I'm like the last one to see insight checks. All right, so yeah, as he walks away, you can tell he's clearly excited at the prospect of gold. He's kind of flipping the coin back and forth between his fingers. So you're pretty sure he's telling the truth.
Okay.